This is Industrial Edge, a podcast where we discuss the cutting-edge world of factory automation and the technologies shaping the future of the industry.
My name is Lacey Chandler. I'm sitting here with Dean Roberts at the 2024 Almond Board Conference in Sacramento at the Safe Credit Union Convention Center. It is day 3.
Final day,
Final minutes and moments. You might hear some banging ahead of us because they're tearing stuff down. But it was a good show.
great show. Appreciate the
show.
opportunity.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dean, will you take a minute and introduce yourself?
Sure. Dean Roberts. I own and am president of Focus Integration. We're located in the Detroit, Michigan area, and we build robotic palletizing cells for pretty much any industry but the automotive. So food industry, obviously the nut industry out here, pretty much anything you see on the grocery store. If a customer has a product they have to stack onto a pallet to ship, that's where we come into play. So, and we're here because you invited us here at this show. We've got a lot of installations out here in California, right, in this industry. So it's a prime opportunity for us and for your customers. So we appreciate that.
When I hear you say stacking things on a pallet, I imagine them at Costco.
Right.
There's a lot of pallets with things stacked on them.
Yeah, walk down your grocery aisle, walk down Home Depot, Lowe's, Costco, Walmart, all that ships on a pallet. It's got to be stacked onto a pallet to be able to put it onto a truck, and that's where we come into play.
Can you explain what a robotic palletizer is?
Yeah, so obviously you can imagine it's not quite like Terminator, right? It's an industrial robot, and it looks like an arm, basically, a large arm. And it has a hand, basically a gripper, that can pick up product, whether it be boxes or bags or pails or buckets, whatever the product might be. We have a different gripper or hand for the robot to be able to handle that product. So it'll pick up the product from a conveyor and place it onto a pallet. And then it will fill that pallet up and discharge it and then bring in the next and start all over again.
Why would somebody choose to put a robot palletizer in their facility versus just having some people do it?
That's a great question. So number one, labor costs continue to go up. But above and beyond that, it's really the repetition of palletizing. These products can be 20, 30, 40, 50, even upwards of 100 pounds. You can imagine doing that day in, day out, the injuries that occur. So these systems don't always displace employees, but they push them into a different area that's less injury prone. So basically it's a very monotonous kind of situation that the robot can kind of do better, you know?
It seems like not only would it be difficult to do that repetitive work, but it probably would be difficult to get consistent accuracy with the placement and the...
That's a good point. And it even plays into, since this is an injury prone task, you get a lot of turnover. So when an operator finally gets good at palletizing, they've got enough injury. Now they got to replace them. And now you're starting all over with the training process. So now the stack pattern starts to get a little sketchy again. So a lot more consistency, a lot more precision with the robot.
Can you explain what a stack pattern is?
I don't know. That's a great question. The stack pattern is basically the pattern you create for each layer. So you build one layer at a time and you have multiple layers on a pallet, okay? And the stack pattern is generally created to maximize the number of product on the pallet and to also create a stable pallet so it can ship without falling apart. And it's a little bit of a science. You have to take the product weight into account, the product size, and how many pallets they're going to be stacking on a truck or in their warehouse for stack strength. So it's kind of a science and an art. So it's actually a challenge.
What sets your company apart versus anybody else that's selling a robotic palletizer?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that because so I've been in this industry for a long time. I know I only look 29, but I've been in this business more than 29 years. And a lot of times as companies grow, the company I used to work for, when they were smaller, they really focused on the customer's needs, right? But then as they grew, they started to lose that focus on the customer's need. In fact, that's why I named the company Focus Integration. So every time we say the name of our company, it reminds us that really what our goal is to focus on the customer's needs. If you do that, everything will fall in place. So really, what differentiates us is not just the quality and the performance of our systems, but the fact that we listen to what the customer's needs are, and we develop a solution to their needs and not our needs. So that's what differentiates us, I think.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with me.
Thank you, Lacey.
And explain a
Appreciate
little
it.
bit about what you do. And
All right.
thank you for coming.
Thank you. Take care.